Season 1, Episode 10. You know we gotta get into it. In the last episode, we reached the climax in the fight between Tenma and Edgy, and Tenma used his super gyro spin shot, and he kicked this ball so hard at Edgy that it looked like a Kamehameha, it looked like a Hadouken, this power blast, and Edgy was trying to stop it, but he was unable to. He even used his explosive golf balls. He tried to block it with his arms, but it was too powerful. It ended up hitting him right here, knocking him clean out. His brother, Kazuma, he comes through begging for his life because he's thinking that Juzo and Tenma are going to kill him and his brother, but you know that they're not. They're not killers. Well, at least the teenage Juzo is not a killer. But anyways, they was like, nah, we ain't gonna kill you. And then Tenma gave Juzo and Kazuma this huge lecture about them being hitmen and they need to stop killing people. And then Kazuma tells Juzo and Tenma that him and his brother are actually going to start going to their school. Well, Norwind wakes up, and remember, she's hypnotized, and the hypnosis spell was the first person that she sees whenever she wakes up, she's going to fall in love with. Who does she see first? Juzo. And right before she was going to tell Juzo that she was falling in love with him, knocks her clean out. So Kazuma is actually going to hypnotize everybody at the arena so they don't remember anything. And before that, he tried to hypnotize Tenma, but his hypnosis don't work on Tenma. He's too strong, he's too powerful. So Tenma, Juzo, and Norwind, they end up leaving, and they ended up meeting up with Shirashi. So now we gonna get into episode 10. Do me a favor, like the video, sub to the channel, and I'll get with y'all in a minute. So the episode starts off with Tenma and Shirashi walking to school, and Shirashi is having a hard time believing the story about Tenma and Juzo rescuing Norwind. They're saying that the kidnappers kidnapped Norwind. They stopped at a park to play catch, and then Tenma and Juzo opened the door to the van, grabbed Norwind, and ran off. That is a terrible story. Nobody should be believing that at all, because if that was the case, how did they end up at the arena in the first place, right? So we gonna see how this goes. Meanwhile, we got Juzo acting all serious because he's been out of school all weekend. He's ready to get back in the swing of things, and Norwind is stalking him at the same time because she's still under that hypnosis. So she's still in love with Juzo, obsessing over Juzo, but Juzo is like, I need to stay away from you, Norwind, until this hypnosis wears off. So he's gonna keep his distance. And then Juzo goes in the classroom, and the first person that he talks to is who? Ryo, Shirashi's brother. And he's being cordial, like, hey man, what's going on, Ryo? And Ryo is like, you know what? You're dead. I heard that you went on a double date with my sister, with Tenma, and with Norwind. He got his kendo stick out and everything, like he about to bop his head with it. Yo, and then Norwind comes in and she says good morning to all of the students, right? And of course she says good morning to Juzo, and then Juzo is like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta poop, and he runs out of the classroom. What kind of excuse is that? Dog, that's embarrassing as hell. Could you imagine telling your classmate that you gotta take a shit? Man, hell no. So then we got Kotatsu and Juzo's ex-wife Eri, and they're having a conversation about Juzo's experience being a middle school age boy, and Eri is laughing her butt off because of the things that Juzo is going through being a middle school student. But the main thing was when Juzo turned back into his middle-aged man self. So now Eri and Kotatsu are trying to figure out what triggered that from happening, because that can't happen while Juzo is in class. Could you imagine Juzo being in class and he a grown-ass man? Everybody's gonna go crazy. The students, the teachers, the whole faculty is gonna go insane seeing Juzo transform into a 39-year-old man. Then she told Kotatsu to go back the day that Juzo transformed into an adult to find out what he actually ate, because something that he ate might have triggered him to become an adult again. And then she starts talking about the artificial wasp that the Mitsuoka Corporation created and how he should go interrogate the person who created the wasp, and also know, the Hardin assassins, they have that information about the Wasp, and he needs to find out how they got that information. So this is about to get really interesting. So the avoidance game has begun with Juzo avoiding Norwin as much as he possibly can. She's approaching him in the cafeteria. He's hurrying up eating his food so he can get the hell up out of there. And then Norwin is approaching him in a classroom, but he has a whole stuffed bear dressed up as him to avoid her. And then Juzo ends up going inside an empty classroom, right? And then we had Tada and Baba approaching Juzo, and they said, Juzo, we need to talk to you about something. And they grabbed him. They grabbed Juzo, holding him hostage because Norwin bribed them with a pudding cup, and now they got Juzo hemmed up. Norwin is there, and we about to find out what happens. Oh, Norwin is mad. She said, why are you always avoiding me? Uh-oh, I can't take it in. I can't hold it in anymore. What's she about to say? Uh-oh, she about to say I love you. Oh, now Juzo is doing this cyclone, and he done broke free from Tada and Baba. He is out of there. Yo, he is running for his life. Yeah. Yo, you are not gonna catch Juzo. This is hilarious. Yo, she's not stopping. She's actually catching up to Juzo. Oh, wow. That girl fast as hell. Yo. All right, Juzo wall walks around the students, and he finally gets away from Norwin. But that was a close call. Oh, Norwin done created a parachute with this big old schoolmate student banner, and she done parachute down to Juzo while Juzo is trying to walk home. Oh my gosh, she says, look, Juzo, I love you, and if I catch you, you gotta be my boyfriend for real this time. Yo, so Juzo is like, listen, let's go somewhere and talk. We're making a scene, right? So then Norwin is expressing her feelings towards Juzo, and Juzo is like, you know what? I'm not gonna run away from this girl no more. I'm gonna just keep it real. Hey, Norwin, listen, I'd rather just play pretend with you because I don't look at you in that way. I don't have those type of feelings for you. And then Norwin is like, okay, I understand. And then she gets on the ledge of the building and she's like, my life is over. And she's trying to jump off of the building and kill herself. She is so dramatic. And Juzo is like, what are you doing? Get your ass off of this ledge. He done pulled Norwin off the ledge, and Norwin is throwing a hissy, baby fit temper tantrum like she's a 3-year-old. All because she ain't never been rejected before in her life. But it's kind of understandable, you know, when you have everybody hitting on you, kind of comes with the territory when you finally have somebody say, nah, I'm not really feeling you like that. So then Kazuma all of a sudden calls Juzo, and Juzo is like, Norwin, don't kill yourself, I'll be right back. And Juzo is going off on Kazuma. He's like, man, what kind of spell did you put on Norwin? She is going crazy. She is acting obsessive. And then Kazuma is like, well, that's just what the spell is. That's what it was intended for her to fall in love with my brother, since my brother is on the opposite side of the spectrum. He don't talk, he's very antisocial, you know, so I needed to make that spell strong so she could fall in love with him. And then Juzo is like, hey man, when are you supposed to be coming to my school? When are you supposed to enroll? And he's like, well, we're recovering from our injury, so it's gonna be a few days. And then Juzo is like, I don't have a few days, man. She is going crazy over here. I need you to reverse this spell ASAP. And then Kazuma is like, okay, meet me at 5 o'clock, and that's what we gonna do. So Juzo decides to meet Kazuma at an amusement park to neutralize Norwin's crazy emotions. And before they even get to the amusement park, Norwin decides that she wants to go to a ramen museum. So they get there, and Juzo is like, I don't see what the big deal is. It's just cheap instant noodles, and Norwin goes ballistic on him, giving him the whole breakdown on how instant noodles were created. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a history lesson from the beginning all the way up into present times on these instant ramen noodles. So they're watching this movie, and then she decides she wants to make instant ramen noodles. Juzo is being apprehensive because he's under time constraints, and Norwin plays on his heartstrings, so they start making instant ramen noodles. Yo, that ramen was so spicy that Norwin made Juzo that his whole face swole up, his lips swole up, he could barely walk at the moment. So while Juzo and Norwin are on a Ferris wheel, right? Norwin stands up and Juzo is like, hey, I need you to sit down, Norwin, because of the wind. It's blowing. And then the wind blows and it knocks her into Juzo's arms, right? So she closes her eyes because she's trying to get a kiss in, and Juzo is like, I cannot do this. This girl is as old as my daughter. I'm too old to be doing this, but if I don't kiss her, then she might try to jump off this Ferris wheel. So Juzo kicks in his hitman abilities and he shoots the lock open on the cage that they're in on the Ferris wheel. Door flies open, scares the shit out of Norwin, and now he avoids the kiss. And as soon as they get off of the Ferris wheel, we have Kazuma in disguise, and he reverses the hypnosis that he put on Norwin. So after Kazuma reverses the hypnosis on Juzo and Norwin, he's like, listen, we're even now. I might as well have released you from your hypnosis as well, because I can't beat you either way, because your skills are on a whole nother level than ours. And then I will see you in a few days at school. So Kazuma and Eiji, they walk off. Norwin is still asleep from the reverse of the hypnosis, and then the episode ends. Listen, man, Kill Blue does not miss. I'm telling you, every episode is amazing. It is entertaining, and it's funny. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.